Hi, in this video I'll be teaching you the first 5 notes on oboe. We'll be learning B flat, C, D, E flat, and F. Before we get started, after we have our oboe assembled, which is just putting together our body, lining up the 2 side keys, pretty similar to the clarinet setup, attaching our bell at the bottom, making sure everything's in line, making sure when we put it on that we're not forcing any parts together, we're just nice smooth twisting motion. And now we're ready to begin. We've had our reeds soaking in water. We want just enough water to soak just the reed portion. We don't want the strings wet. Once that is wet, we're going to begin to learn how to crow on this first. Crowing is producing a sound on the oboe reed before attaching it to the instrument. The pitch that we'll get will be roughly a C. It won't be an in-tune C, it'll be close to C though. Now to play a pitch on this, there are 2 different ways to do the embouchure, but the way that I find the easiest is by tucking in both lips when we use it. So it's almost like if you were to play a saxophone or clarinet with your bottom lip, except as you can see there's no mouthpiece. On top of this is just 2 reeds, so we'll need both lips to do what your bottom lip would do. Before we make a sound, we have to remember that the oboe requires lots of air pressure and a solid stream of air. So if you cannot produce a sound right away, you may not be putting enough through. So let's go ahead, put our reed about halfway-ish in, wherever it seems to be a sweet spot on it, and we'll go and try to make a pitch. And that is how you crow. To start and end your note, just like any other wind instrument, you want to use your tongue. Do not use too much pressure, or you could damage your reed. But if you use too little, you won't get a very crisp sound, so you want like a ta, ta. Alright, now we've learned how to do that. Let's go ahead and attach our reed to our oboe, making sure it's in line with the instrument. We'll go ahead and push it down. Now that our reed's in, let's go ahead and learn the first note, B flat. Now if you notice all these keys, they look a little bit different than some other instruments. If you notice here, we have a hole in the key and a little side key right there. This is so that you can do a whole key or a half whole key, and then whole key, and continuing down all whole keys. But for B flat, we're going to start by covering the hole on the top one, so we'll play the whole key. We'll use our second key, and on the bottom, we'll just use our first key. So we'll do 1, 2, 1. With a lot of air pressure and strong wind support, we'll go ahead and produce the B flat. Alright, now C from B flat is pretty easy. All we're going to do is lift up our middle finger. We'll go ahead and produce that pitch. Alright, now we have C. D will be more fingers, but it's not too hard. We're just going to drop our other 2 bottom fingers, so we have all 3 down. And then we're going to slide our first finger down to that attachment that'll give us the half hole, and then we'll do 2 and 3. So very similar to saxophone in this sense, except we're covering a half hole instead. We'll go ahead and play D. Alright, now go into E flat. We're going to keep our fingering the same here, except we're going to add this bottom pinky key all the way at the bottom here. Let's go ahead and play E flat. Alright, and now F. All we're going to do is we're going to add our back thumb key, Keep all these fingers the same except for our top one. That will slide up to cover the whole key again, just like in B flat and C. As for our bottom, we're going to lift up our middle finger and leave all other keys. So I'll go ahead and play F. And that's how you play the first 5 notes. Now to play them consecutively, to get better at them, we can do a simple pentascale of 5 tones, and we can start B flat and go up to F. So I'll do that real quick. B flat, to C, to D, to E, to F, and then back down. And remember, wind, good posture, all this will help you in producing a pitch on the oboe. It is very, very hard instrument to play if you're not using your wind. You will most likely never play in tune if you do not put enough air through it, and your tone will not sound great. So keep in mind with your wind support and posture, that will help your playing if you are struggling to produce any pitches.